kept you waiting, huh?
Elden Ring is a game like no other. It may contain the DNA of From Software's other titles, but with its combination of lore, music, and gameplay, it's just special. It covers themes like death, rebirth, the unknown. It pays attention to the smallest details. And it's hard as balls. Various things in the past few months have stopped me from getting a timeshare in the lands between like I would have wanted. Here's all my villagers holding an intervention to try and get me to stop selling fossils. I will never. Hell, this was supposed to be a completely different Elden Ring video, but don't worry. I might not be playing Elden Ring right now, but I sure am thinking about it, so let's talk about the game that needs no introduction. Wait, what are we waiting for? We live in a world where the creator of two immensely popular things, Dark Souls and the book that Game of Thrones would be based on, can work together and make a video game. I just think that's pretty neat. One of my favourite gaming memories was the Summer Games Fest Elden Ring trailer. Even before people were hoping for an appearance, and the moment the pin dropped and the realization kicked in, things went absolutely nuts. Holy shit. Jeff Keighley? The box art guy is barely in the game and actually only features in 2 areas. Cool armor though. Upon booting up the game, you're met with a big bombastic orchestral theme to introduce the gravitas of the title that you are about to experience. Pulling out your best song on the title screen is fucking wild, and it only features in the game 1 more time. It's also fucking fire! All the starting classes are viable and balanced, so there's a reason to pick one over the other. But it's not so important that if you feel like you chose the wrong one because you don't know anything about the game yet, it's not a huge mistake. For a game of which you'll likely be wearing a helmet for most of it, the character creator is rather in-depth. You can pick up a golden seed as your starting item, which can be redeemed for one free semen joke later on in the video if I run out of puns. The narrator can get a bit too into it, talking about his
mad taint.
The fact I can't beat the first boss. What? You're supposed to lose to it? Sorry, I couldn't hear you over my PS4's fan. You can revisit this later on. This super fun lift. Sad it's over. This super fun lift. Sad it's over. This super fun lift. Sad it's over. This game's weird obsession with fingers. The map even looks like a furled one. The backstab animation is the same as Dark Souls 3.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Stamina doesn't deplete when you're out of combat. The poise break sound effect. You have a few invincibility frames when mounting and dismounting your horse. If you poison one of the land squirts, they blow up and start a chain reaction. Rolling in the sheep. Vare calls you maidenless when the man is devoted to a literal paedophile. The tree sentinel just can't take no for an answer apparently. Melina puts her hand on you and something deep lights up inside of you.
Stop it. Get some help.
You're beautiful.
Was always the only one who said I was beautiful.
Or you can give him what he wants and he turns into this.
What the fuck is that?
The grafted greatsword was created when one warrior stayed behind to ensure that his brethren could escape, and so grafted their swords onto his own to give him more of a fighting chance. That's metal as fuck. The fall of the great Kenneth Haight. Roderica doesn't feel like she has much of a purpose, though with Master Hugh's help learns how to spirit tune, which provides a very helpful thing in game. When his memory goes and the world is ending, she chooses to stay with him so he's not alone. You can take the secret path to Leona and completely skip Stormvale if you want to. You can get completely overpowered before taking on Margit, which makes him super easy.
Now that's a lot of damage!
I don't know why I died there. Guess I was too busy listening to my new EP. My new EP. Dee's just looking for his twin. Dee's nuts.
Got him!
Everyone who comes up with a fake name for themselves chooses something incredibly similar to their original name.
I am the witch Renna.
I better.
The game's first mandatory boss is good enough to be another game's final boss. In order to progress with the first 2 great runes you need, you'll likely fight Godric the Grafted. This is a subtle reference to the game's hardest and most iconic encounter, a secret boss called the Soldier of Godric. Godric tapes a dragon to his hand just because he's losing. If you are concerned about Elden Ring being too easy on new players as it's an open world, you'll be happy to know that the keys to the lift that you're funneled towards are in completely random locations and there's very little to direct you towards either of them, other than your wayward sense of adventure. This speedrun trick that's so simple I can pull it off.
Nice.
You can blow yourself up with the explosive physics.
Got one word for you, maggot.
There's a version of Dr. below Raya Lucaria. This is because only nerds read books. With those genetics, I'm gonna be fucked by the age of 40. Get it? Because it's also noble. Raya just wants to get to know who her parents are and trusts you with her biggest secret.
You look like a snake!
Rykard got swallowed by a big snake, and there's a real dick about it. Oh, I can't stay mad at you. Let me ram my big spear down your throat.
What?
Rykard's skull attack.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Oh, you...
Getting the clip for this bit, who the fuck is looking up ASMR? What the fuck is wrong with you people? The Blasphemous Blade. Everything about Alexander. He's the Iron Fist, defender of good. He's got his ass stuck in a hole. Then he does it so badly next time that you have to get lube to help him out. I'm just saying. Smash.
Was my whole existence just a crock?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
This little guy. By the end of his storyline, Dialos finally lets go of telling the tale of House Hoslow in blood, and finally proves himself by protecting something that he actually loves. 70,000 runes at the start of the game. The longest fucking run ever from Site of Grace to boss, apparently. And he keeps on going, and he keeps on going. Dancing Pots. Cuck Jail. Pope Dog. Pumpkinhead. The Queen's Bracelet item has a phenomenal design. Upon equipping it, a small ring appears on your finger as well, which is a sign that you have more riches/jewellery stored away. Renala does indeed have this. It's the Dark Moon Ring, the same that you give to Rani in her questline. All of Radagon's children have red hair except from Rani, as she's in the form of a doll. However, if you find her corpse atop of the Divine Tower, she does indeed have red hair. Even when driven mad by a greater power, Blythe still refuses to hurt Rani. We see a lot of Renala's feet. This is a subtle reference to Miyazaki having a foot. After defeating Renala, Rani protects her adoptive mother by summoning her at her full strength in order to give you a fight. Renala is the only Great Rune boss that lives regardless of whether you kill her or not. This enemy turns into a fucking bear. This fucking thing. All of the Caleb memes at the launch of the game. It was a simpler time. Radahn learned gravity magic so he can make himself lighter and ride his horse. His horse's name is Leonard. When Radahn turns into a meteor midway through the fight, he buries his horse in the sand so he is safe. Wait. Radahn turns into a meteor midway through his fight. Radahn is holding back the stars out of fear of what lies beyond them. Even though Rani is attempting to bring an entirely new age free of corruption, Radahn may have had a point because after his death, Estelle shows up. Using the dragon sorceries turns your eyes yellow. The Deathbirds rule.
Why the fuck you lying?
When the race of the Nox were pushed underground so they couldn't see the stars, of which they worshipped, they painted them on the rock they could see so they could still be close to them spiritually. This village in the Altars Plateau and its dancing elderly population. It's good to see people being active. Getting the boys. They just called him the Dung Eater, I don't know. The slow death of the Draconic Tree Sentinel. Lanedale is the golden capital, but most of the roofs are chipped and actually painted silver on the inside. Marika's crown jewel is hollow, just like her Golden Order. Godfrey's ghost is just chilling here. Morgoth's Great Rune is the anchor to the Elden Ring, and he's the only one to hold true during the Shattering. Borealis, the freezing mist, at this time of year, localized entirely on this frozen lake. Can I see it?
If it's not fun, why bother?
There is nothing good to say about the Fire Giant.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
The Godskin theme has lyrics. I can't play you the song because of copyright, but here's my retelling. Give me your skin. Flame burns the skin of the gods. I will collect the skin of the gods. I hunt them relentlessly. With sacred skin, I will be a god. The death of gods has uplifted me. The skin of gods has uplifted me. Sacred skin belongs to me and nobody else.
What the fuck is that?
Malekith's Phase 2 can be completely skipped. Platygisax is the new name and aesthetic of my metal band. Gideon is the all-knowing but doesn't see this coming. Godfrey carries Morgoth in his arms and has a moment with him before turning to face you. This is the first time he's seen his son in years, and it will be the last time.
Long and hard, tarnished warrior. Spurned.
Godfrey rips off his shirt midway through the battle. And you could look with this good with our sponsor today, Manscaped. Godfrey goes full Giga Chad mode, which is a subtle reference to the alpha male lifestyle. Godfrey turns into a wrestler. This is a subtle reference to wrestlers being cool. Last minute observations. Last minute observations. You fight Radagon in a void because the Erdtree all it stands for is empty and means nothing. Radagon can parry your spells and ranged attacks. It's back, boys! There is nothing good about the Elden Beast's boss fight.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Moog's big fuck you is accompanied by a subtitle in all lowercase, which really undersells how much of a big fuck you it is. Malenia is the blade, blood, and she's never known defeat. Until she meets her match. The two fingers in the round table hold have a unique death animation despite it being unkillable. That time when my lecturer laughed at me because I was stuck on the fire giant. That time when that same lecturer spent a seminar drawing Alexander. The moment you finally beat a boss that you are stuck. All the running about you do on a new playthrough. The fact that I'll never have to play this game for the first time again, fuck that shit. That's everything, or at least that's everything that I could think of in a reasonable time period. All that's left now is to say what I want from the DLC. I just want more Elden Ring. As much pain as this game caused me on my first playthrough, it's absolutely phenomenal. And that's all, folks. Thanks for watching all the way through, and please, let me know if there's any games you want me to cover in future, and check out my music if you want. Now, if you excuse me, I need a hug.